All right, last thing in the front, let's have one look at the suspension from above. So that is a V1 Wisefab kit that I customized quite a while ago. So modified the lower control arm for the clearance I wanted because of where my rack position is, and then modified the hub on the outside. Let me turn it, maybe. Oh fuck. Modified the hub on the outside for, there we go. So modified the knuckle on the outside, we'll say, for Ackerman, then was the only thing. And it's got Skyline GTR brakes in it, R32 GTR, really simple braking setup, works perfectly. The car is pretty light, so it doesn't need massive brakes. And we have these custom shocks that I got made one time with a load of Tipex on them from different setups and stuff. They're just after been placed in to get the car in the lift, so that's why the brake hose is just hanging in free air and all that crap. So I just put in by hand yesterday. But yeah, this is what I do run in the front right now. I've had a couple of other knuckles and shocks and things like that. This is my go-to at the moment. Very happy with it, so not going to mess around with it too much. I'll show you more from underneath. But that's how it looks there. Very simple brakes. And while we're on to brakes, then I have a original Nissan Master and booster. Maybe an S15 booster. It's the smaller, it's the thicker but smaller diameter booster, and we have it inset into the bulkhead out of the way a little bit, which meant we had to modify the pedals inside. But no pedal boxes or nothing like that. The ITBs don't generate vacuum, so there is an electronic vacuum system, which I have just taken off at the moment because I have it in the Audi Quattro, which is out there somewhere. I have it in the Audi Quattro. It was something we were testing some electronic vacuum pumps, so we only kind of got one of each to see do they work. And I actually broke a lower control arm recently, so we got a Wisefab V2 arm, and it turns out it's exactly the same thing as what I modified the V1 to be quite a while ago. So that's pretty cool. Seems to be it's exactly the same arm, bolted in exactly the same place, which is cool. So that's the front. If you want to know anything else about the front, just let me know. I'll fill you in the comments. And let's take a look at the rear. Now moving around to the back, as you can see, there isn't much left of the original car when you strip it down. A little bit of a beach buggy style when you take all the panels off it. Now I meant to do this video before I took the panels off it, but hey, look, this is it. Barely have time to do anything. So this is where the old rad used to sit, and the boot door used to sit on top of it. But that's where the old rad used to sit. Quick change down there. The fuel tank used to sit in here on these two pieces of inch square tube. But for our Evolution 2 of this car for this year, we are moving some weight rearward, so the fuel tank is going to go in here shortly. So that's going to be our big change for this season. We'll see how that goes. We're going to shift a bit of weight around, change the balance of the car, and see how it goes. Hopefully it works out. The car has been really good, but I think this might be even better, so it's worth a shot. So this is the back of it, all fabricated and dimpled to all hell, as you can see. Peterson dry sump tank in here with all the rubber inside there. I like the Peterson stuff, it's really good quality. This, with the fuel tank in here, we got a really, we'll say, small diameter, long vertical tank, which is cool. But again, we increased the capacity of it by putting a huge box on the side of it. That was more of an oil temp thing. I wasn't happy how the oil temp was rising a little bit. So I decided to increase the capacity of oil, which helps out there. And this weird looking guy here is actually this guy, which is a heater probe. So anytime we're not happy with ambient temperature, be it in the morning or nighttime event at a track, if it's really cold, we will plug this in and preheat the oil in the engine, or in the tank, sorry, in the back, and then we'll pump it forward with the Peterson oil filter housing at the front, and that'll prime the engine with lovely operating temperature oil. It's pretty damn cool. So this is the rear. I don't know why the phone keeps going dark, but so it does. And let me pull this out. So yeah, the fuel tank is going in here soon, and the rad is going to be changed. It's going to be pretty cool, but I will document it for you. So that's the back of it. There isn't much left of it, and it's been working really well. I know it's been working very well, so I'm reluctant to change it, but I do think shifting this weight around is the next evolution for this car, so we'll see very soon. Work wheels, of course, on every one of my cars. Emotion ZR10 all round, 9.5s all round. We were running 10.5 in the rear, but we couldn't drop the tire pressures without debeating as much as we wanted, so we went to 9.5s all around for this year. All the original quarters cut away. This is foam here. The car's absolutely filthy from the last event. Got to get it washed big time. And we'll take one look at the interior, even though there isn't much in here. This is my extremely lightweight seat. Weighs like 4 kilos. Get the weight down. Oh, what's up in the dash? Oh, it's all, that's actually dirt as well from spraying off the wheels because the event was so dirty. We do have a custom double passenger side S13 dash. This is a fiberglass dash that we have a mold for. So it's a right-hand drive passenger side and a left-hand drive passenger side joined, molded, and then make a fiberglass one over. So I think it's pretty cool. You have the Haltech dash here. I have the steering wheel that I've used since 2005. So I've put it on every car I've had kind of since 2005, which is just something, I don't know, some sort of nostalgia thing. It's not a, you know, superstition or any fucking shit. I don't have any of that kind of crap. It's just, hey, put that silver steering wheel on every car. That's kind of cool. Brake bias valve in here. You have a custom designed handbrake. You have a G-Force G101A gearbox, side shifter, fiberglass doors, Kevlar inserts. Get the plastic windows. Not too much else. There's a electronic cutoff here. Manual for the fire extinguisher system. In here, handheld fire extinguisher system. All the braided lines for fuel and oil running through here. The ECU is actually there, but it's really dark with the Haltech 2000, I think, ECU, CAN hub, wideband control, all that kind of stuff. Electronic master switch down here. All our relay boxes and everything is down here, along with the brake vacuum pump. We keep a lot of stuff just in the passenger footwell here. So that's the inside. Let's take a look at her from underneath. Okay, let's take a look at the underside. So obviously 10-inch quick change, like 1500 horsepower, Wisefab chromoly axles on it. You have all custom arms covered in crap, but they're all custom made by us one time. Camber, S13 stuff. On the outside, you have a GK Tech knuckle. That's what I use. I started using them quite a while ago. I liked the kinematics that they have. Now I have a couple of modifications done to it, but that's what they were originally. Skyline GTR R32 2-pot for the foot brake, Willwood 4-pot for the handbrake. I'm very specific on handbrake feel, so this is my caliper of choice for the handbrake. You can see the dirt on this thing since the last day. Custom set of shocks here. I have 3 different pairs of shocks for the rear, depending on what I think at the time, I guess. Subframe all reinforced with our Group-D reinforced plates and Group-D quick change fitment kit into it. It's obviously an S14 subframe. We have anti-squat options here. No anti-roll bar fitted at the moment, as you can see. You can see the offset bushes because it's an S14 subframe. So we do run the S14 subframe in the S13s. And there's not much to it. It is quite simple. The things I like to do, the tricks, we'll say, of what I think makes the car go well are probably, in the details. Everything here is not rocket science. Nothing's going to jump out at you to show that we are doing something different to everyone else, gives us an advantage or anything. We do have multiple pickup points in the camber arm, as you can see, which might look interesting, but that's only done for clearance to the massive CVs under full suspension squat. Clearance for the massive CVs, that's all that is. Anyway, most people will know that, this is your pivot point, this is your pivot point. Everything else is just an imaginary line in between, kind of. So nothing of any massive modification on the rear. What we are doing that works so well kind of is invisible. But yeah, steel prop, 3.5 inch. Again, keep it simple, stupid. No aluminium or carbon fiber prop. I wouldn't mind an aluminium one maybe, but steel is just so easy balance it. Here's the 2 water lines running down from the rear mounted radiator. They are just rubber lines. Now, I did have all sorts of dash 16, dash 20 and everything on this car one time, and I'm just sick of just the cost of that shit, so I didn't bother doing it on the V8. Here is the G-Force G101 side shifter. What a gearbox these are. Love them, especially with the wide torque band of the V8. I don't think you should have any other gearbox on a V8, only a 4-speed like this. Here's your 2 dash 16s that's for each bank of the V8. A little water manifold here where we split the single radiator hose into 2 dash 16s here. This is where we split them, and there is a little water manifold up here, and that clamp has gone a bit shitty looking, but there's a water manifold up here which takes, can we see that? It takes the 4 AN fittings from the head and puts them into 1 to go to the back, and then the water temperature is taken from the combination of the 4 from the head here. So the 2 little manifolds we made up to go from 1 to 2 and from 4 to 1, and it works absolutely perfectly with no problems. Here is the bell housing from Quartermaster, a high torque rear entry starter motor from Quartermaster, and then a triple plate 7.5 inch clutch from Quartermaster with a button flywheel. And I'm not sponsored by Quartermaster or anything. I just have to give them a plug and say I absolutely love this stuff. It's been bomb proof. It's just been so good there. We use the Quartermaster release bearing also, which gives us 0 issues. And I know hydraulic release bearings can be an absolute pain in the hole, but love the Quartermaster stuff. I wish I could use it on more cars. It's a really nice setup, and really compact, really small, makes the engine rev really nicely as well. There's no weight in it, so that's really good shit. Really good shit, really happy with it. And of course, straight onto the sprint car. It's really nice. It has a It has mounting availability as well, so you could actually mid-mount the engine, we'll say here, to the bell housing to the chassis leg, which is something I thought about, but we've got it pushed back that there isn't much room there. So that's the details here. Moving forward, one thing that stands out is our custom crossmember. Custom crossmember for the Silvia to take an IS200 Altezza steering rack. And we've been running this for about 12 months, and what a joy it is compared to the Nissan racks. I absolutely love this. You can buy this crossmember now on Group-D and you can bolt an IS200 steering rack into your Silvia. This has been brilliant. The IS200 rack is just plentiful, cheap, incredibly strong. Now, we've had some amount of wheel-to-wheel contact, and it's the same steering rack the whole time. So really happy with this. The mounting system of the Toyota rack is just a million times better than the Silvia rack with its stupid clamps, 4 bolts, and you just drop the whole thing down. It is a sweet job, and nice and lightweight crossmember, strong, plentiful, cheap steering rack for lots of wheel contact and not give a shit kind of driving. This has been a kind of revelation for us. There's the steering knuckle, slight modification to the steering knuckle and a lengthening of the column, but same goes with moving the rack forward. This rack is forward, I think 42 or 44 millimeters, something like that. You can see the rack boot to bolt clearances, fuck all. So looks like the rack is weeping. Everything is wet down here because we had a oil leak from the valve cover at the last event, so it just destroyed everything. And we actually had a small little flame, little fire as well, which was cool, from the oil coming down onto the exhaust. So that's why everything is wet right now. The valve covers on the sprint car engines are bastards for weeping oil. So something we have to live with or try and re-engineer or something. You can see the beautiful dart block with the Callie's ultra-billet crank inside, which is also beautiful. And you can see the Daily Dry Sump pen is just a work of art. It takes the pump directly onto it, so no bracketry onto the block or anything. What a little lovely piece of machining it is. Full scavenge internally, radius down and everything. Oh, it's just really, really nice. There's your dart symbol for the block. The heads are all pro. You can see all pro written on them. They're all pro heads. And here's your belt system. Harmonic pulley with the timing degrees marked in it. Everything is just class. We've got a bit of customization done here. They are original tension rod brackets. Just a bit of customization across this bit of maybe 80 by 40 across the front for strength. And there you can see the YSF V2 arm versus the V1 modified that we did a long time ago. Ended up being the same thing, as I said. So that's kind of the excuse me. That's the ins and outs of this car. This is where we ended up with the whole package. A lot of interesting stuff going on, but again, I must have hit something, must have mounted something here. A lot of interesting stuff going on, but nothing totally crazy. I don't know, is it crazy? Maybe you think it's crazy. We mounted the gearbox across here on a brace we made. This brace is fully welded into the chassis. Then it's through here and up to the sill by the roll cage. So the car has extra strengthening. The chassis has extra strengthening the whole way across. We just decided to tie the whole thing in together and make it another part of the chassis. So it's really strong. The shell itself is pretty good, you know. It's a PS13, an old one at that. And yeah, that's the underside. If you want, I think I've covered everything. If you want to know anything, let me know in the comments. But this is a good girl. So we're just about to start the second evolution, which I'll make another video on when it's done. But this is where we've been at for the past maybe 18 months with this car, and it's been very successful. Look at this, for the most scariest thing you've ever seen. I hate these things. That apparently is correct. That's too loose for me, but I've been back and forth with all the manufacturers for a long time about this. Everyone involved, and they're like, yeah, that's correct. Look at the fucking thing, it's scary. Yeah, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you want to know anything about the car, any particular area of it. She's a pretty cool machine, and hopefully this season, with the changes we're making, this thing will go even faster. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Right, so that is it for the build series of the Ultimate Drift Car, in my opinion. It's been a long time. It's taken me to get these videos up. In that time, drifting has evolved to be something else. Drift Masters is another level again of drifting. It's certainly the best series in the world right now, in my opinion. So that's it for the look at everything on D240. Next video on this car will be a quick look at the rear radiator setup, which was done in association with Mishimoto. That's pretty cool, so I'll just do a quick spotlight on that, and after that then will be what we are getting up to with this car for 2024, which I'm pretty excited about. So that'll be the next two coming up on this one. So thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. I'll reply to everybody, and thank you everyone for watching, and see you on the next one.